Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, my fellow groupmates. You
Good
good?
afternoon.
Afternoon.
Are you good?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So my name is Farel Razaky, and we from Group 7, and we're gonna present our group project with the title The Struggle of Maintaining Focus and Finding Motivation in Reading. So before we start, let's introduce ourselves first. Start from Harun Yahya Zulkifli. Akhina, no, please.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Harun Dzulkifli, and I will be explaining the body of this presentation. Moving on.
Right. Going on. So, Amelia Agustin, please.
Hello everyone. My name is Amelia Agustin and I will explain about our challenges, importance, and the effect on us.
So, go on to Naila Medina. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Naila Medina and I will explaining about the puzzle and the reason of the puzzle.
Right. And last to Anindya Nova, please introduce yourself.
My name is my name is Anindya, and I will explain about the reflection and the next steps.
Right. So, uh, let's just get started. To Amelia Agustin, please explaining your part first.
Okay, so this is our challenges. Reading is a key way for students to learn, but spending a considerable amount of time reading makes us feel bored and complains about the difficulty at the beginning, leading to lack motivation, especially when faced a long text or readings that do not align with our interests and that disturb our focus due to the lack of interest and which ultimately affect our motivation to read. And why this is so important? Reading is essential for learning and personal growth. It helps us to gain knowledge, improve critical thinking, and develop new skills. So imagine if we taking an exam or pursuing an assignment that requires reading, of course we will have difficult and feel overwhelmed at the beginning before we even start. And next, and this is our main challenges. First, complaining and feel overwhelmed before we even start. When presented with a lengthy article or journal, we tend to complain right away from the start. And then, second, topics outside our interest. When required to read an article or journal per day, we feel reluctant because the topics often outside our interest. And then for the third, didn't try to set specific goals. We don't have any specific goals while we about or while we reading. And then for the fourth, tends to taking a long time and effort. Reading take a significant amount of time, which make us feel bored, eventually lost interest. And then the last one, long read materials feel boring. Long reading materials is make it difficult for us to stay focused while reading, especially when a lot of common vocabularies on it. And next, and of course that affect affect us, like we become less motivated, get bored easily, and have trouble focusing. For example, we often feel lazy to read and choose to escape into social media on our phones. And then it's hard to find motivation to read, and we don't focus while reading because we get bored easily and lost interest in reading. And for the last, difficult, difficult to reading effectively while in class or while we have assignment to do. That's enough.
All right, thank you for your explanation, Teh Amelia Agustin. Please continue to Teh Naila Sukma Medina. Continue your part, please.
Okay, so after all the explain about the challenge, our puzzle is why we find it difficult to focus and grow the enthusiasm as a consistent reader. And the reason is first, lack of motivation and interest. Sometimes we feel that way because maybe the reading we read is not what we naturally like, and the second is easily feel bored while reading. That because we don't like reading, maybe we definitely think that it will be difficult and confusing, but we have to think that it's easy because with our positive mindset, the appropriate result will be great. And the third is get distracted by other things that sometimes we don't know about the language used, so we have to think first before we know the meaning. So the third, the reading material is too hard to understand, and five, tired to search and reduce our focus. That's can distract our focus because it's very hard when we what is when we try to strong. So we should read when we are ready for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you to Teh Naila Sukma Medina. Very good. And next, please, Harun Yahya Dzulkifli, explain your part, please.
Okay, so thank you. I will be explaining the action taken that we took to overcome the puzzle that we have chosen. Right. First of all, first we analyze the main problem. We identify the main reason as to what the source of losing of motivation and the loss of a good focus in reading. Some people are uninterested in reading, and some do. For the people that do not, the reason that most people give usually are related to preferences. Now, like mentioned from before, from the challenges and the reason, certain text can be quite boring, hence why we lose focus or motivation as well. Now, as for preferences, some people who actually do enjoy reading can be quite, you know, bored because again, preferences is something that we all have, and for us to read something that we don't like or we don't want, it can be quite uh, I'm sorry, it can be quite boring technically. In short, it's just going to be boring. Right. For the research that we took, the problem varies for each person. First, we have in terms of mental, dopamine. Dopamine helps focus, but too much can cause distractions, like seeking entertainment on social media. Physically, being tired reduces in energy and makes it harder to stay motivated to read. Now, why did we take dopamine as a scope for the main problem? Dopamine levels is the one thing that not many people are aware of. For example, instant gratification is the one thing that I personally read on the internet. Instant gratification releases a lot of dopamine. It's to the point that dopamine level is going out the roof. Many other activities become quite uh, a session that which we don't indulge in. For example, in this case, reading. Now, the second part, physically, like from the physical standing point, being tired reduces energy. Now, energy is the one thing that we all need in order to do activities. To preserve energy for reading is also required because, again, it is an activity that takes a long, long time. So you must be prepared and have a reserved energy for said activities. Now, for the solution, we found a solution, and that is the Pomodoro technique. We've learned this before from the session with Bumel. Thank you very much. Now, the Pomodoro techniques helps with time management while reading. Student read for a set time, like 20 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This cycle is repeated 4 times, followed a longer break of 15 to 20 minutes, and that is all. Now, why did we choose the Pomodoro technique? Now, the Pomodoro technique is a technique that can be, you know, set to their fittings for each student. If 20 minutes is a long time for someone to read or to just, well, it could be used for learning as well. They can reduce the time, for example, to 15 minutes. If 15 minutes is not enough, then minimally 10 minutes should do it. Then they can take a 5-minute breaks. You repeat that 4 times. After that, you can take a 15 minutes break or 20 minutes. Moving on. The second solution is to skim. Useful tricks to use for reading, such as skimming. Now, skimming only requires finding certain keywords, sorry, that are relevant to the readers and the text. This technique does not require the reader to read every word in the text in order to save time. Now, some people don't want to waste time reading each word one by one. Hence, why we as a group, I suggest that we use the skimming technique. Skimming technique only takes perhaps only just 1 minute. That is minimal. It takes only 1 minute to just read a paragraph without reading every single word. Uh, Stop. Okay, maybe that is all.
Right. Thank you very much for your fascinating explanation, Harun Zulkifli. And please continue. Teh Anindya Nova, explain
Okay,
your part.
my section. We've calculated that a healthy mental and body is essential when it comes to reading. A state in which the entirety of well-being is bad could hinder the reading session. Habits are also needed to be reevaluated, as it an easy way to distract people to read. We try to indulge ourselves in reading even if it is only for a short amount of time, uh, as it as it is a way to train our habit of reading. Next step.
Second.
Next step. Sorry. First, find new interesting ways to build habits for reading. Make reading enjoy by exploring new topics or topics you like, joining or setting small goals to stay. Second, understand ourselves more through self-evaluation and self-introspection. Reflect on your reading struggles to find solutions, like minimizing the distraction or starting with the simple materials. Third, of give a time off from the habit, be it good or bad. Taking breaks, taking breaks prevent burnout and helps maintain a balance between positive habits and avoiding the distraction. Thank you. Next.
Right. Thank you very much, Teh Anindya Nova. So I guess my time has come. So in conclusion, we can conclude that maintaining focus and finding motivation is a common challenge. It is a challenge, definitely. So most of time, it was caused by overwhelming tasks or topics, and then lack of interest and distraction from both external or internal. So both mental and physical factors is also impactful to our mood and like dopamine levels and energy, like Harun said before. And this is really play a role in this struggle. So please next, Harun. So the effective solution include using techniques like the Pomodoro technique that Harun has mentioned before is really effective. And then skimming method is also effective to save our effort. These strategies, combined with better habits and clear goals, can help make reading more engaging and manageable. While the material itself can be challenging, improving our approach to reading is key to overcoming this obstacle or circumstances. So I think that's enough from me. Thank you very much. First, thank you to my fellow group mates to attend this uh, presentation online. Yeah, it's really difficult. So I think that's all we can say. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you.
tutup dulu recordingnya.